Welcome back to our channel, where today we delve into a topic that sheds light on the darker side of YouTube fame, YouTubers in prison. Behind the glitz and glam of viral videos and millions of subscribers, some popular content creators have found themselves entangled in legal troubles, resulting in their unexpected confinement. Austin Jones. Austin Jones, once a popular YouTuber known for his music covers and original songs, found himself embroiled in a scandal that ultimately led to his imprisonment. In 2019, Jones was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to child pornography charges. The downfall of Austin Jones began when allegations surfaced regarding his inappropriate interactions with underage female fans. It was revealed that Jones had solicited explicit videos from his young followers, some as young as 14 years old, under the pretense of evaluating their singing talents. These manipulative actions betrayed the trust of his fanbase and shocked the online community. Following a thorough investigation by law enforcement agencies, a substantial amount of evidence was gathered against Jones, including explicit conversations and videos exchanged with the minors. The gravity of the charges he faced made it apparent that swift legal action was necessary. In February 2019, Austin Jones pleaded guilty to one count of receipt of child pornography. As a result, he was sentenced to a decade behind bars. This case not only served as a cautionary tale about the potential dangers lurking in the online world, but also highlighted the responsibility influencers have in maintaining appropriate boundaries with their audience, particularly when it comes to minors. Since his imprisonment, Austin Jones has been serving his sentence in a federal prison facility. As a convicted felon, he is subject to the regulations and routines of prison life, including restrictions on communication and limited access to the internet. While in prison, Jones has no longer been able to create content or maintain an online presence as he once did. The consequences of Austin Jones' actions extend beyond his personal life. His conviction has had a lasting impact on the victims involved, as well as his once thriving career as a YouTuber. The case has also served as a stark reminder of the importance of child protection and the need for constant vigilance in ensuring the safety and well-being of young individuals online. It's essential to remember that the actions of one individual should not overshadow the positive aspects of the online community. Many content creators strive to foster a safe and supportive environment for their viewers, and numerous measures are taken by platforms and authorities to prevent and address such incidents effectively. Austin Jones' imprisonment stands as a reminder of the consequences that can result from online misconduct and exploitation. It serves as a reminder to both influencers and their audiences to be vigilant and responsible when engaging in online interactions, particularly when minors are involved. Trey Eric Sessler, Mr. Anime. In 2012, a tragic event unfolded that shook a community to its core. Trey Eric Sessler, a 23-year-old individual with an unhealthy obsession with dark anime and firearms, committed an unspeakable act of violence that resulted in the death of his entire family. However, his sinister plans did not end there, as Trey had also devised a chilling plot to carry out a mass shooting reminiscent of the famous Colombian tragedy. Fortunately, law enforcement authorities intervened in the nick of time, apprehending Trey before he could carry out his next heinous act. Following his arrest, Trey underwent extensive and intense questioning during a grueling investigation. The police were determined to understand the motivations and circumstances that had driven this young man to contemplate such a horrifying crime. However, Trey's responses during the interrogation were riddled with confusion and inconsistencies, making it difficult for investigators to piece together a coherent narrative. His statements presented a distorted and fragmented picture of his motivations, leaving the authorities perplexed and disturbed. Subsequently, Trey was brought to trial to face the consequences of his actions. Recognizing the gravity of his crimes, Trey pleaded guilty, perhaps in an attempt to avoid a protracted legal process or as an acknowledgement of the irrefutable evidence against him. The court proceedings provided an opportunity for the community and the justice system to confront the magnitude of the tragedy that had unfolded. Considering the severity of Trey's actions and the immense loss of innocent lives, the court handed down a sentence that reflected the gravity of his crimes. Trey was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. This decision was likely influenced by the court's recognition of the irreparable damage inflicted upon Trey's family, the potential devastation that could have unfolded had his mass shooting plot come to fruition, and the need to ensure public safety by keeping Trey off the streets permanently. The life sentence without the opportunity for parole signifies society's condemnation of Trey's actions and the determination to hold him accountable for his crimes. It serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of such heinous acts, while also providing a measure of closure for the victims' loved ones. Additionally, this verdict sends a strong message to those who might contemplate similar acts of violence, emphasizing that society will not tolerate such atrocities. While Trey's case undoubtedly left an indelible mark on the community, it also raised broader questions about mental health, the impact of violent media, and the need for proactive intervention and support systems for individuals exhibiting concerning behavior. The tragedy serves as a reminder of the collective responsibility to identify and address potential warning signs, to foster an environment where individuals struggling with their mental health can seek help without the fear of stigma or judgment. Amos Yee. Amos Yee was born on October 31, 1998 in Singapore. He gained prominence in 2015 when he posted a video titled "Lee Kuan Yew is finally dead," shortly after the death of Lee Kuan Yew, the founding Prime Minister of Singapore. In the video, Yee criticized Lee and his policies, which was considered highly offensive and disrespectful by many Singaporeans who held a deep reverence for their late leader. The video sparked outrage, and Yee was arrested on charges of wounding religious feelings and obscenity due to his disparaging remarks about Christianity and Islam, in addition to his criticisms of Lee. He was found guilty in 2015 and sentenced to 4 weeks in jail. Following his release, Yee continued to express his views and engage in controversial online activities. In 2016, Yee left Singapore and traveled to the US, where he sought political asylum, claiming persecution and harassment by the Singaporean government due to his outspoken views. His asylum application was granted in March 2017 by a US immigration judge who determined that he had faced persecution if he returned to Singapore. This decision sparked debates over freedom of speech and the granting of asylum based on such grounds. Stanislav Reshetnikov. In a tragic incident that shocked the world, vlogger Stanislav Reshetnikov, widely known as Stas Rifle, committed a series of heinous acts against his pregnant girlfriend, Valentina Grigorieva. The horrific incident unfolded during a live YouTube video when a viewer offered Stas $1,000 to physically abuse Valentina. Without any regard for human life, Stas subjected Valentina to unimaginable physical abuse. He mercilessly beat her, and then, to further degrade her, he stripped her naked. In a display of utter cruelty, he forcibly locked her outside their house in the freezing temperatures of December, exposing her to the elements. Valentina, in a desperate attempt to survive, banged on the door, pleading with Stas that she was in danger and could die. Her pleas fell on deaf ears as Stas ignored her cries for help. After about 15 minutes, Stas finally decided to check on Valentina, only to find her unconscious, pale and not breathing. Realizing the gravity of the situation, he tried to revive her by administering CPR, but his efforts were in vain. Filled with fear and remorse, Stas eventually mustered the courage to call the paramedics for assistance. The paramedic team arrived promptly, but upon examination, declared Valentina dead. Initially, her death was believed to be due to hypothermia caused by the exposure to the freezing temperatures. However, the forensic team later revealed that Valentina had tragically succumbed to a head injury inflicted during the domestic violence episode. The police wasted no time in taking action, promptly arresting Stas for the murder of his pregnant girlfriend in exchange for money. Subsequently, in 2021, the court sentenced him to a 6-year prison term, recognizing the gravity of his despicable actions. Leigh Felton. In a highly disturbing case, a teacher who worked with special needs children faced numerous charges of capital sexual battery. However, in October, she was found not guilty of 33 out of the 34 charges initially brought against her. Despite this, Assistant State Attorney Lorena Voldrath Bueno has now filed 37 new counts of aggravated possession of child pornography due to the videos that were discovered and sold online. During the trial, the teacher, identified as Felton, admitted to creating 10 sexualized breastfeeding videos, some of which had explicit titles like "Mommy's a whore" and "Good Little Boy." While her defense lawyers argued that these videos were protected under free speech, prosecutors disagreed and proceeded with new charges of child pornography possession. Felton revealed that she had a low self-esteem after the breakup with her child's father, which led to her creating videos involving her 18-month-old son. These videos ranged from breastfeeding instructions to explicit scenes involving oil rub-downs, genital exposure, and what the prosecution deemed as sexual contact with the child. While Felton acknowledged that her actions were morally wrong, she maintained that they did not constitute criminal behavior and felt that the prosecution had overcharged her. The investigation into Felton began when Wisconsin officers alerted authorities in Florida after a woman reported that her husband had purchased 7 YouTube videos featuring Felton breastfeeding a young boy, both of them being nude. The woman alleged that her husband had traveled to Florida to meet with Felton and engaged in sexual intercourse with her. Following her release from prison, Felton will be placed on sex offender probation for 5 years. She will also be prohibited from having any contact with her son as she has lost custody of him, and he now resides with his biological father. Felton is scheduled to stand trial for the new charges in the coming year. As we conclude our exploration of YouTubers in prison, it's clear that the allure of online fame can come with significant risks and responsibilities. The cases we've discussed serve as cautionary tales, reminding us that no amount of followers or views can shield individuals from legal repercussions. It is essential for content creators and their viewers to consider the ethical boundaries and legal implications of their online actions. Let these stories serve as a reminder that fame, both online and offline, should always be accompanied by a sense of responsibility and accountability. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next video.